Hey guys, so in this video we're going to create another spell which will be Poison Cloud, and it will be area of effect spell, which means that every enemy inside the area will get damaged and poisoned. And I will try to fit this in the one video so we don't have to do 3 different ones like we did for Fireball, so we can make it a little bit faster. Plus this spell is probably a little bit easier as well, so it should be fine. We will start again with importing the animation. So if you go to your animation folder, Magic, and in the link in the description you do have this animation which is Magic Cast 2. So the character is casting and it looks like he's summoning something from the bottom, and since this spell will be around you and on the ground, it should be looking good. And what we can do here is enable root motion, save it, and then right click, create, and create any montage. In the montage we can also add a montage notifier where we actually want to spawn the spell. So I'll do it somewhere where he's lifting the arms, so it will start coming up from the ground here. So this is again up to you. You can set it on different time, but I'll change this, and notify will be cast spell or something. It doesn't matter because we only need to have one notify here. So cast spell, and then if we go to abilities, let's create one. So third person blueprints, first we can do it in enums, so abilities, and add enumerator, which will be Poison Cloud. Poison Cloud, and then we can copy the name so we have it the same. Go back to blueprints and structs and deities, and here in abilities we're going to add new one, and this one will be Poison Cloud. Also name will be Poison Cloud, just with a space. Description I will leave it up to you. Cooldown for testing we can leave it at 10. Icon I don't have, I will upload it after this video, so I'll just leave this one. Color something green, and then cost, just so we know it's working, we will do mana and 30. And then requirements, again I'll leave it empty so I can use it on all of the weapons, but what you should probably do is just add all of them apart from bow maybe. So if you don't want to cast it on a bow, but since this system is customizable, you can do whatever you want, it's your game. So I'll leave it empty. Damage multiplier, this will be taking damage every time the enemy is inside, let's say every 2 seconds, and we can leave this poison spell on the ground for like 10 seconds or 20 seconds or something. So since it's going to be ticking, I'm going to change the multiplier to something low, like 0.2, and it will cause player all the player damage times 0.2 every like tick. So save it, and then effects we have created in the conditions already, so go to effects data table and do, sorry, is it conditions data table? Yeah, conditions data table and poisoning. What did I do in the Fireball? I did effect, or is it the effect? Ah, it should be the effect there, not condition, my bad. So effects, and we do have a poison already created. And then for ability damage type, we're going to change it to poison damage. Save it, and now we do have ability created, so let's create the Niagara system. We already have material created because I found one in this, let me expand this, Realistic Starter Pack Volume 2, which is free on the Fab, so you can download it. And if you search for Cloud, Cloud was it? Oh, Smoke, sorry, not Cloud, Smoke. And it's not the ground one, but this Smoke C, which is created from multiple sprites. If you change this here to the cube, you can see that it's all the different sprites, but it's animated. It's animated basically. We just need to animate it, and it will be like a nice smoke. So everything is done. Even the particle color is already here, so we can change the color and opacity and stuff like that inside the Niagara. So we'll be using this one. And then for Niagara, let's go to third person, effects, right click, and we create Niagara system. We'll create an empty one, and we can call this Poison Cloud _ns. Open it up, and here right click, add emitter, and this one will be again minimal emitter here. Right. Now, first thing we can do is change the sprite renderer to this smoke C, smoke C, and then to see something we need to go to emitter update. Here we can do lifecycle mode self once fixed, and loop duration will be like 10. So this will be the duration of the whole spell. We can probably add this as a variable, so later on if we have like level 2 poison cloud or something, or like we have skills that upgrades it, we can change the duration as well. So we can do make, read from new user parameter, and this one will be loop duration, and we'll leave it at 10, so we can then update this variable. And then in the update also we're going to do spawn rate and change it to like 50. There we go, we can already see it, but as you can see these particles are spawning as a sprite, so as it is displayed in the actual material. So what we need to do to actually animate those sprites is we need to, here in the particle update, we're going to add sub UV animation, and here you can see we got some warnings. So in the sprite renderer we're going to add our sprite renderer that we have here, and then if you go back to sprite renderer and in this sub UV, we need to tell it how many actually images are there in this material. So if you count them, you got 8 times 8. So we're just going to do 8 times 8. And there we go. And now it will animate. We do have a spawn rate on top of each other, so you can't really see it. If I change it to 1 only, you can see there is a nice smoke. But it's a little bit too slow. So what we can do to speed it up is go back to sub UV animations, and here in lookup index scale we're going to do 2. And now we got the nice smoke already. This will be only one particle. So let's go back to spawn rate, we'll change it back to 50, and then we need to adjust where it's going to spawn and stuff like that. So if we go one by one, we can go to particle spawn, lifetime can be 5 seconds, that's fine. Initialize particle, we can do directly, we can set a color here. So we can do direct set, and this one will be like light green. Don't worry about that sprite, it obviously won't look good just now. Then in the particle spawn again, we're going to add velocity. So we can move this slightly a bit, because as you can see, this is 50 of them spawning on the same location. So we're going to fix the issue here. So it will add dependency, the first one, and then you can see it's just going up. So we're going to do a random range vector, and here on Z we're going to do 10, so 0 to 10, so it can go kind of slightly up. Again, you won't see much here because it's still spawning on one spot. So basically vector, this random range vector, what it does is it's moving between 0 and 1 value to the left or right. Same thing, this is the left or right, but back or forward, and this is up. So on the up I want to go a little bit higher, so it looks like the cloud is kind of shifting. And then one more thing we need to do is do shape location, which is where we want to actually spawn it. And in this shape location I'm going to change this from sphere to cylinder, because I want to have it on the ground. So what I'm going to do is cylinder height will be 0, and cylinder radius will be like 500. This will be the radius of your spell. We can also make this a variable, so click here to make and read from new user parameter, which will be cylinder radius, and that will be 500. Okay, so now it will look like this. We also want to change the size of it. So if we go to particle update, is it? Oh, particle spawn, sorry. In a particle spawn, and we got the sprite attributes, which will be sprite size mode. We will do random uniform, and we can do something between like 150 and 200, so it's a bit bigger. It doesn't look too good now, but that is just because these, as you can see, if you zoom in, they're just instantly popping in, and then when they finish with their lifetime, after 5 seconds, they disappear straight away, instantly. So we don't want that. We want to make them opaque, like when they come in and also when they go out. So we want to fade them basically. So in a particle update, we're going to add color, just the regular color. This will probably, this will override the color that we set there. So set it again. What you can also do is here we're going to do random range linear color, and we will do between a little bit greener to like almost yellow, kind of like that. Maybe they need to be a little bit closer to each other, the colors, because then there seems to be quite a big difference. There we go. And now for the alpha channel, open this up, and then for scale alpha, we're going to do float from curve. And for the curve, change this first value. You can type it into 0, 0. Then right click in the middle here, add key, and this key, select just that one, and we're going to do 1 value. So it will go up, so you can see now they're fading in, and then after they're fading out. So what we can also do is select all of this, and then right click and do auto, which will make a curve a little bit smoother. Alright, so this is pretty much all of it that we need. You can also change the spawn rate to be something higher. Think about the fact that every time we change the cylinder radius to high one, if you want to have a different one, you need to also do higher spawn rate. So what we can do here, because obviously then it won't cover it if you don't have enough particles. So what we can do here is we can multiply float, and we will multiply A, which will be cylinder radius, times 0.1. So if cylinder radius is 500, then particle spawn will be 50, and then if it's 600, it will be 60, and so on. So this time we just need to update the cylinder radius. It automatically updates the particles as well, so they will cover it, right? And it might not look very good here, but if you actually add the spell Poison Cloud to the game and then play it, and then it starts coming in, there you go, we got this, which I think looks really good. So we can even add more particles if you like, or you can even differentiate how big they are. So in this, where is it? In the particle spawn, we can do 150 to 250 maybe. And then I'll probably do spawn rate 0.2, so there is more of them. Okay, save it. And then this will come up. Yeah, gorgeous. And imagine this like in a forest or something, casting this, and all the enemies inside getting poisoned. So I think it looks really good, and not much work to do with this. So after we have done that, we can just go ahead and spawn it. So set the ability up. For that, we need to go to ability component, edit, and here I'm going to pack away the fireball that we made in the last one. Collapse nodes. And this one will be fireball, so it's not in the way. There we go. So now first thing we will want to do again on the Poison Cloud, so just drag from it, and we're going to do play montage. Montage. We need to get the actual mesh, so here in the stone form we can copy it. Now we're getting the component with the tag from the player, paste it here, and again add it to mesh. This one will be cast to montage, and then what we want to do here is obviously on notify begin. When it starts, we want to this remove cost and start cooldown. So remove cost and start cooldown first. That will be when we actually cast the spell, when the notifiers begins. And then let me check quickly. so I don't mess this up. Let's first remove uncompleted. When montage completes, we will remove the ability tag so we can again do some action after. So where would we have it? Fireball is one. Remove is executing ability, this one here. Go back and add it after, so we will remove this tag that we're executing ability, but this won't be on notify begin but on completed. Okay, and now we want to actually spawn the Niagara system, so notify begin, yeah. So we'll do spawn system at location. Location will be get owner and get actor location. So we'll get location of the actor that cast it. In this case it will be player because we don't have abilities on enemies just yet. And for the template this will be the poison cloud, not poisons, poison cloud. So poison cloud rotation scale, auto destroy, auto activate, we will leave exactly the same. And then from the return value we need to do one more thing because we want to bind it where this when this spell ends, we want to stop like damaging enemies and stuff. So we done it once on one of the spells. It's basically if you drag from this and do bind event on system finished, then we can just from the event create event, and here we can just do create matching event, and this one will be poison cloud finished or something, poison cloud finished. And then don't forget to move it somewhere here as well so you don't forget what it does. And for now I'll leave it open. Here what we want to do is create new function that will be for damaging with this poison cloud. So add new function, and this one will be poison cloud tick, we can call it cloud tick. Spell it right. So poison cloud tick. And then first let's go back to event graph and we're going to set timer by function name and copy this name just so you don't make a mistake, add it here. And now this will be basically ticking, and here it depends how often do you want to damage enemies. I would say probably every 2 seconds when they're inside the cloud would be good. That way it will damage them 5 times. If you want to have it longer, you can, or if you want to have it faster, you can do 1 second. I'll do every 2 seconds, and this will be looping. And for this function inside, what we want to do is we want to do multi-trace, multi-sphere trace by channel. And for start location, we need to actually we can't get it here because this location will be changing. So what we need to do is before we're going to get this actor location, and here we can promote it to variable, which will be poison cloud location. Okay, so we have it saved. This will be specific for poison cloud. So poison cloud location, and compile and save. And then one more thing we can also save is what ability we're executing. So this one will be, because I'm thinking a little bit ahead if you want to have that, because later on I want to be upgrading spells. So if you want to have an ability that will be poison cloud level 2, I want to change that ability. But we can't pass it inside the function that has a timer on it. You're not able to actually have input in it. So we need to save some variable what ability we are actually executing. So we're going to, look, we do have this ability here, so we can just promote this to variable, and this one will be current poison cloud ability. Okay, just current poison cloud. And disconnect it. and we will set it when we start this. So when we start this spell, and we will do ability. So you would think that we could pass the ability directly, which is here, but then if you cast the Poison Cloud and then you start casting different ability, this will change. So when this keeps ticking, it will be completely different ability that will give us the info that we need for. Probably doesn't make much sense now, but you basically can use this ability. We need to change it into different one. Okay, so this will be current Poison Cloud. So now inside we do have ability and we do have location. So for the location we will get it. That will be start and end. Radius will be the radius of the Poison Cloud, which is 500. We can maybe later on also add it as a variable so we can increase the size, but for now it's fine. And then we do have this whole part for damaging done in the Fireball. So let's go to third person blueprints, actors, and open Fireball. And here we do have multi-sphere trace by channel as well. So I want to copy all of this that we have done. Right, it will be very similar. So copy this part after the multi-trace, go back to ability component, and here we'll paste it. Alright, so out hits needs to go to this one for each loop. Then get data table row abilities we will delete, we don't need it here. And instead we're going to get current Poison Cloud ability. And we will search in the learned abilities. That's where we have all of them that we learned. So find and current Poison Cloud ability. And this one will be all the ability info that we actually need. For stats, since this is the area of effect, it should be okay if we update the stats. So it will be higher if we boost our poison damage during it. So we just need to get another component by class. And we will get stats component. And we'll get it directly from the player. So get stats. Alright, that will apply damage. Actors to ignore. Did I have the actors to ignore here already? That's a question. Find references by name. No, I don't actually know. Ah yeah, we're using actors to ignore already. So in the Poison Cloud, we're going to do different one. Here we're going to promote this to local variable, and this one will be local actors to ignore. It can be local because this will reset every 2 seconds, so it will reset after 2 seconds. Then when it ticks again, it is clear, so it can hit the same enemies. So that's why we're doing the local one. And then don't forget to connect this to for loop. This one can be deleted. Destroy actor we're not doing here. Destroy actor we're not doing here. We just left with this damage part. Actors to ignore, we're going to do local actors to ignore. Actors to ignore, we're adding to locals actors to ignore. And I think that's pretty much the whole setup. So if you've done everything correctly, save all, we should be able to actually cast it and damage people, except for I'm going to remove this one here, so it's not confusing. Alright, I didn't actually, I'm not destroying it, and I haven't learned the abilities. So for destroying it, we have set inside the Poison Cloud, we have set this loop duration to 10, so that is fine. But in the ability component, in event graph, we have set up that event, where is it? This one here, Poison Cloud finished. So it will call when the Niagara system is finished. And that way we can just tell this Poison Cloud tick to stop, otherwise it will keep running. So we will clear timer by function name. And this one will be Poison Cloud tick. Compile and save. And for learning the ability, we just go to player to regular event graph, and from ability component we'll learn ability. And this one will be Poison Cloud. Play the game. Equip. equip this one, and let's see if this actually working. So I'll cast it nicely from the ground. Poison cloud starts. There we go, and they're ticking, and they're also getting poisoned. There we go. I don't know how many, I didn't count how many times they got damaged, but as you can see, they got poisoned and they were getting damaged all the time. So I can cast this, and then I can fight them normally. Just get him to, look, this is out. Alright, so that's working well. I think it looks quite nice. If you want to lower it a little bit, because, what? Take damage, apply damage, function, combat component. Access not trying to get component by class. Okay, so probably I forgot to do something when we're casting, when we're causing damage. So where are we? In this poison cloud tick. So reduce, trace channel. Okay, so trace channel needs to be enemy. So only enemy. And then we should probably add owner to it as well, so we don't damage ourselves. Get owner, and we will get this again. Add. I was tracing visibility, but for some reason it was still giving us damage, and here the condition I always had true, so that's why it was giving us error. This needs to be connected to return value. And I'm surprised that it was well, yeah, it was working because it was going to the apply damage directly, but like too many times. Okay, so don't forget to connect this, and don't forget to change the trace channel to enemy, and then that should be it. So one more time test, and cast it. Get these enemies to run at you. Damage them. If you feel like poison cloud is too big, you can make it a little bit smaller, because we made the random size maybe too big. So if you cancel it, okay, there is still some class return value. Show me where it is. We're checking the validity of the component here. Where else is it going to take damage? Probably would be best idea to do one more branch, or just validity check from this component again, like we have here. Just copy it and do it before the take damage, because it might, I don't know why, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but somehow it gets to this apply damage sometimes, and then we will try to do take damage, but the actual combat component doesn't exist, or hitting something that is not supposed to. So just do that, validity. And unfortunately I do have to do one more check, so make sure that it's working correctly. No errors this time. Damaging seems to be fine. So okay, just the validity check. I'll look into it, because it might be some different issue, because it shouldn't actually get to that part of taking damage, but everything else seems to be working fine. I'll just probably change it to this particle spawn and change this back to 200, because I don't like it when it's too big. And also you can reduce this velocity here to like 5 or something, that way it won't go as high up randomly. Alright, so hope you like this spell, Poison Cloud, and you can also actually, with all the knowledge that we have done, we could also shoot it with the arrow and then create it on the area where the arrow actually hit. That wouldn't be too difficult. So all the spells that I'm creating is kind of like something different, so you can then put together your own spells and abilities. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one then. Bye.